Hi everybody. In this video, we'll discuss the best way to check whether a redox reaction has occurred. First, let's recap the four main ways to check whether a redox reaction has occurred. So first, using the oxygen method. So if a substance has gained oxygen, then we say that the substance has been oxidized. And if the substance loses oxygen, then the substance has been reduced. Then next, for the hydrogen method, when the substance has lost hydrogen, then the substance is oxidized. Then likewise, if the substance gains hydrogen, then that substance is reduced. The third method is the electrons method. So if a substance has lost electrons, then the substance is oxidized. Then likewise, if the substance gains electron, we say that the substance has been reduced. And the final method is the oxidation state method. So if there's an increase in the oxidation state of any elements in the substance, then we say that the substance is oxidized. Then next, if there's a decrease in the oxidation state of any elements in the substance, we say that the substance is reduced. So among these four methods, in my opinion, I think the best method to use is oxidation state method, because it's the most applicable in most circumstances. Okay, so let me use an example to illustrate. So we'll use an example of the neutralization reaction between hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide to give you sodium chloride and water. Okay, so first maybe let us use the oxygen and hydrogen method to check whether this reaction is a redox reaction. Okay, so let's start with the first substance here, hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid. So okay, if we see down here, okay, for the chlorine, it actually sort of like loses hydrogen, okay, when you go from hydrogen chloride to sodium chloride. So I put loses hydrogen. Okay, if that's the case, based on this definition, when it loses hydrogen, then this hydrogen chloride is oxidized. Then let's check for the sodium hydroxide. So, okay, let's say when we go from sodium hydroxide to sodium chloride, we see that this sodium hydroxide loses oxygen, which means that it's reduced. And at the same time, it also loses hydrogen. Then based on the definition, it's actually oxidized. Okay, however, using this method, we will derive an incorrect conclusion to say that this reaction is a redox reaction. Okay, let's redo the analysis using the oxidation state method. Okay, first let me just write down the oxidation state of all the elements in this balanced chemical equation first. So starting off with hydrogen chloride, hydrogen in most compounds will have an oxidation state of +1, which means that for chlorine it should be -1, because when we sum up the oxidation state of all elements in a compound, it should be 0. Then for sodium hydroxide, the oxidation state of hydrogen is +1, and then oxygen in most compounds would be -2, which means that the sodium oxidation state should be +1. Then we move on to the right, sodium chloride. Oxidation state of sodium would be +1, and then for the chloride ion would be -1. And then next for water, for hydrogen, its oxidation state would be +1, and then for the oxygen would be -2. Okay, so let us do a quick analysis of whether there's any change in the oxidation state of any elements in this balanced chemical equation. So let me just write down here. So hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, sodium. Okay. Okay, so let's start off with hydrogen first. So if you see on the left hand side of the equation, the oxidation state of hydrogen is +1. So I'm going to put +1. Then next for oxygen is -2. And then for chlorine is -1. And finally for sodium is +1. Okay, next let's do the same for the right hand side of the equation. So starting off with hydrogen is +1. For oxygen is -2. And then for chlorine is -1. And sodium is +1. So as you can see, there's no change in the oxidation state of any elements before and after the reaction. So therefore, we can say that there's no change in oxidation state, which means that for this reaction, okay, there's no redox reaction. So if you use the oxidation state method, you have derived the correct conclusion. So therefore, I suggest that in general, try to use the oxidation state method to determine whether a reaction is a redox reaction or not. Okay, if you find this video helpful, do consider liking and sharing this video, and do consider subscribing to this channel as well. And drop me a comment to let me know what other content you'd like to see in this channel. See you in the next video.